If you're struggling to get your first wholesale real estate deal, you probably don't have a contract problem. You have a seller problem, because you can know exactly what to say, how to calculate the offer, and how to fill out the contract. But none of that matters if you're talking to homeowners who have absolutely no reason to sell. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to find the motivated sellers. Most wholesalers are looking for in the wrong places. All right. And I want to show you how to identify the ones worth contacting before you waste your time and money chasing bad leads, or even driving around town or doing any of those weird stuff. I closed my first deal in December 2005, long time ago, right? I'm the author of Real Estate Money Secrets and Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. So pay attention to what I'm about to share with you, right? The business is very, very simple, right? You only need one tool. You're looking at a screenshot of it right now, and everything you need, especially particularly off market, is already here. But before we get into that, you need to understand some fundamentals. So let me bring you here first, right? What you're trying to accomplish is a simple, seamless, frictionless workflow that takes you from data to deals. Okay, what we're dealing with here right now, right? We're talking about wholesale deals, right? Wholesale real estate. Wholesale, one thing you need to have in wholesale is discounted properties. You need to have discounted properties. Okay, discounted properties, very, very important. Hold tight 1 second. So when it comes to wholesaling deals, you're looking for discounted properties. So, and the real question we're trying to answer here is, how do you find discounted properties, right? Well, properties just don't, they're not just hanging around by themselves. People own them, people control them, right? So you need to have access to those people, and we call them motivated sellers, right? So, but first of all, I wanted to show you, you go from data, right, to contact, right, to leads, right? Leads this is where you would identify if somebody is motivated or not, right? And then before we start talking about contract and then closing a deal, those are DCLCD. Those are the steps right there. Okay, now we're stuck here because you need to find leads, right? You need to find leads. You need people that are actually motivated, people that have a reason to have a conversation with you. Now, majority of people trying to sell a piece of real estate, they don't have any business talking to you about wholesale, because they're not going to give you a discount, right? They're not going to give you a discount enough for you to create value for end buyers, investors, people who actually want to put value into a piece of property, mark it up, and then sell it, and then create business from that. Does that make sense? So very, very important step you need to understand, and this is where you start. So you need, in this time and age, you need access to data first, not your car, not walking around town, not writing, not a pen. You need access to data. What kind of data are we talking about? You need motivated sellers, meaning there has to be a reason why they need to sell. There has to be an opportunity for you to add value to them. Okay, so another keyword that you need to pay attention to here is value. Okay, you need to look for opportunities to add value to these people, right? So how do you find opportunities to add value to people, right? We're tracing our steps forward little by little here, right? You need to have, there needs to be a problem that you can solve. You look for opportunities to solve problems. You look for opportunity to answer questions. Okay, questions, right? Difficulties, right? Anything that doesn't look good, all these things are opportunities for you to add value. You help them make their life easier, right? You help them solve problems, you help them answer questions. That is what we call value in the marketplace. Okay, then you're able to charge some kind of money or generate value or generate revenue from that situation. So but there's something, the key thing to all of this that we're talking about is problems. All right, and there are many ways to find opportunities. So what kind of problems would homeowners have, right? Homeowners, why would they want, because this problem is the reason why they might need to exchange value in form of equity. Maybe they have some kind of equity in the property, exchange that equity, that needs to be exchanged for some kind of value. Okay, and this is why we go for problem. I just wanted you to understand. So how do you get access to this? Again, this is linked back to value, data, right? Data, right? And the data is how you get contact. And the beautiful thing about all of this, that when you go to your local county house, they have a public record of homeowners, property informations, and everything that property is going through. And that's what I want to show you right now. Okay, and that's the beauty about the tool that I wanted to show you, the local county house. Okay, local county house, some people call it the sheriff, right? It has records of all the properties in that jurisdiction, and it has records of what the property is worth, the value assessment of the property. It has records of who is owing how much money against what property, what lien is against a property. Basically, the title history of any property is listed at the county house, and it's public information. Back in the days, we used to have to go to the county house and get this list, or you have to correlate multiple county houses manually, right? So but these days everything is available online. You have access to all of it online, and then we call that data. All right, we call that data, and you can have access to it for free now. So speaking of having access to that for free, I'm going to go back here. All right, this tool is called PropStream. You can see the link to it in the description box. You can simply go to myempirepro.com/big data, because that's the idea in all of this. You have access to nationwide. As you can see, you're looking at the map of United States, right? You can go anywhere in the country. Okay, so now let's go to, let me see here. Let's see, why don't we go to, I'm trying to look for a location we can go to here. Let's see here. Why don't we go to let's go to Augusta, Richmond County in Georgia. Let's try that. Yeah, Augusta, Richmond. I'm not sure if I can put that like that. Let's see, Richmond. I'm not even sure if I'm spelling it right. Oh, let me check the proper spelling of this. Hold on one second. Okay, let's try this. Augusta County in Virginia. How about that? Let's go to Augusta County in Virginia, right? Okay, so I go to Augusta County in Virginia. This is clearly not a, I'm looking at my filter, it says 0. So there's no property that fits my criteria in Augusta County in Virginia. How about we go to Atlanta? Let's just go directly to Atlanta, right? All right, Atlanta, Georgia, right? In Atlanta, Georgia, I see there are 7 properties that fits my criteria. How do I know they fit my criteria? It's part of this tool. You can set up filters under filter here. You click under filter, and you can go through the search boxes. You can go through this different criteria, and you set what you like for your properties to have. I like my properties to be in, the properties that I'm looking for, they need to be starting with some kind of problem. Remember what I was just showing you, right? If you're looking for a motivated seller would tend to have a distressed situation, right? So motivated sellers will tend to have what we call a distress property in their hands. Okay, meaning that property is no longer serving as an asset for them. It's now a liability, and that liability is an opportunity for you. How? Why? Because you're going to solve problems. Okay, all right, so let's go back here. So you do that, you simply go, you see under here, you see where it says pre-foreclosure and back owned. That's where I like to start from. So people that owe money on their property, people that defaulted on their property, that's where I like to start from. Okay, also there are situations that will make a property a distressed property from people. For example, bad tenants, right? If somebody have bad tenants, or a bad neighborhood, or not okay neighborhood where people tend to damage properties, so in those kind of area, properties will tend to be non-owner occupied or vacant, right? That's another thing. A vacant property is not a producing property. That's another distress point, right? So that's where I like to start from. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to X out of here. If I go under, click my filter again, I have 7 properties I can look at. And let's scroll through here. We have 3598 Pine Street. What about this one? 218 Chapel Road in Northwest. Chapel Road, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to click into it, right? If I click on the pictures, it looks like this property is boarded up. Boarded up sounds good, right? That's an opportunity to add value. You want to turn the property from a non-performing asset to a performing asset, right? That's an opportunity to solve a problem, right? So when you do approach a seller or owner of a property that has a property that's not producing, that's another step closer to motivation, because they have a reason to get rid of that property. Because at the end of the day, if you scroll down here, right, under property details, if you scroll through here, it's a 1,120 square footage, right? You see some information about this property, you see some information, and you see some tax assessment information, right? $68,000 assessed value, property taxes. Either this property is producing or not, this property is generating a fee, is generating an expense of $2,184 per year. So this is not a good look for the owner, right? And under here we can see the owner, we can see their mailing address, and we can contact them. You can contact them in a few different ways. A mail, you can generate their phone number using what they call skip tracing. That opportunity is available on this same tool, and you can call them, you can give them a call. My favorite is direct response marketing. I send out at least 100 pieces at any point in time. I spend at least $100 per week to reach out to these people, and I have them calling me. So I create inbound calls as opposed to outbound calls. Why? Because the best position for negotiation is to be willing to walk away and mean it. And if you position yourself where you're cold calling, you already put yourself in a bad position, and you better be good at sales and being persistent, talking to people that are ready to crush you out. Okay, so just because a house is boarded up does not mean they're motivated. So like I said, just giving you like a couple of points already. First of all, there has to be a problem to solve, and then the last point I'm going to leave you with here that you can take to the bank is inbound. Okay, inbound calls. Okay, inbound calls. You generate inbound calls, so you reach out to them with frictionless forms of marketing, okay, and then you generate inbound calls. So when they call you, you're in a position where you can say, how can I help you? All right, that's motivation. How can I help you? They already deem you fit to call you, and now you can say, how can I help you? It's just a better position to be in, and then you can negotiate better. All right, so even if you're not able to strike a deal on the first call, you're able to say, okay, I can reach out. You reach out back to me, keep my number just in case you try other things and it doesn't work out. But it's just the best position to be in. So in order to be able to generate more of that, then you obviously need to be reaching out to more people. It's cheaper in terms of time. Your time is worth more than money. You can get money back, you cannot get time back. So however way you want to build this business, if you're looking for your first deal, that's what I did. That's the only thing that's really worked for me consistently over time, positioning myself where people actually call me as opposed to me calling them. The rest of it consumes times, in addition to it's a very frustrating process for an average human being. But you can set up a system that people are calling you, and when they do call you, you're ready to say, how can I help you? You take some notes and say, let me get back to you. It's just a better position to be in. And this is how you find motivated sellers. People that are calling you are clearly closer to motivation than people that you're calling. Make sense? Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. If you're looking to use or try out this tool for free, I've negotiated the deal for you. The link is right there in the description. Is the first link. It says try it out for free. You click on it, you sign up, and you start using it. And then later on, you can decide if you want to keep it or not for free. All right. Take care. God bless. The books are also available for free. You can see them in the description box. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. Take care. God bless. Bye now. Bye.